Hello everyone, this video is going to be on the bouncer or the bounce pad trap that was added to Fortnite Battle Royale a few weeks ago. This trap is rare and it drops in stacks of 3, and like I did just say, it has been out for quite a bit of time at this point, but I feel like a lot of people still aren't utilizing the bounce pads to like a decent potential, like not even their fullest potential, but a lot of people just aren't utilizing them at all. Myself, I really didn't think much of them when they first came out, but there are actually a lot of ways you can use these effectively in fights. So I'm going to go through some of the ways I like to use them and just hope that you guys can maybe take advantage of these traps in Fortnite Battle Royale. Basically, these traps, you place it on something and then it forces you in the opposite direction when you interact with it. So if you place it on a floor, it'll launch you straight up. If you place it on a wall, it'll launch you laterally in the direction opposite of the wall. And then if you place it on a stairs, it'll kind of launch you in like a catapult-like manner. I don't really use the stairs too much, but they can be effective. I mainly just use the wall or the stairs. This trap can be used to avoid fall damage, travel quickly take the high ground, or fight against players who already have the high ground themselves. The two most basic uses of this trap, like I said, are to avoid fall damage and to quickly travel in like whatever direction you want to travel. When you use the bouncer, you don't take fall damage. So if you ever need to get off a mountain quickly or get down after a build fight that results in you like very high off the ground, a bounce pad can be easily used. I see a lot of people complain that they get in build fights and then a noob just comes and shoots it down. If you ever are very high up in the air during a build fight and you hear someone else just destroying the bottom, or maybe you've lost the other player and you hear someone destroying the bottom, you can just quickly place a bounce pad and get out of there. Once they've destroyed the bottom, you won't be able to place the trap, but if you do it, like once you hear the shot start firing before they've actually destroyed the bottom, you will be able to place the bounce pad and then get out of there. In this situation, I think it would be best to just place it on a wall and then shoot yourself sideways out somewhere, and then the person will still be like tunnel vision destroying the bottom, and then you can just kill them or do whatever you want to do with them. The most important thing is you're still alive because you use the bounce pad to avoid the fall damage. Another thing that I like about the bounce pads versus the launch pad in this like situation is I feel like you'll hit the ground faster if you use the bounce pad. And I feel like the bounce pad is more quiet than the launch pad. It still does make quite a bit of noise, but I feel like it's less noise than the launch pad makes. And a lot of people pay more attention to the launch pad noise, whereas with the bounce pad, it sounds very similar to the hop rock. So a lot of people may just write it off as that. Also, the bounce pads drop in stacks of 3 and they drop more often than launch pads. So they are more expendable than the launch pads. You have 3, if you find 1, you have 3. And then you don't even really have to think about it as much. Whereas like launch pads, you might want to think about maybe conserving since they are so rare. And like I said, another common use of the launch pads, or the bounce pad rather, is just to travel quickly. It's quite obvious that you could do this. And like you might just be like, well, duh, you can use this to travel quickly. Yep. Very basic, but still it's something I see like a lot of people really not taking advantage of. If you get someone weak, you can use it to push them faster and avoid fall damage while you do that. So you could ramp up and then launch bounce pad at them, and then you're like in midair and you could just easily shotgun them in one shot if they are weak. Also, just if you had to run straight there, they would have more time to heal potentially. Also, if your positioning isn't as good in a fight or you want to get away from the fight for whatever reason, you can just use the bounce pads for that. If you want to reposition in a fight, which can be very, very effective, if you're fighting someone and then they dip for cover or dip to use a mini real quick and then you just bounce pad to the side somewhere and you're in a completely different spot, it can really throw a lot of players off. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use these bounce pads to travel quickly. Obviously, like I said, it's very, very basic. Yep, you can travel quickly with this, but a lot of people aren't really thinking of it. So right now I'm going to play some clips from my stream that I think are good examples of how I use these bounce pads to travel quickly in whatever direction to get away from fights or just to reposition during a fight. So I'm going to play those clips now, and then when we get back, I'm going to talk about some other uses for the bounce pad. Quick bounce pad play there. To get away from that man. I hate the forest, dude. Where's this man at? Nice. Get some G's in the chat, guys. I'm trying to get them to fight each other. We'll see if it happens. Because like that one guy was the Omega was pushing up and that Raven scanner just came up behind me. So I thought maybe they would fight each other, but instead Seems like that actually did end up happening. Hopefully this guy has material for us because I need that badly. It's kind of bad for me to give up my high ground like that, but I need mats. Well, we got significantly improved weaponry from him. Alright, that's 2 grenades down. If he has 3, he has 1 more. And that's a 3rd. There's a 4th, I believe. 5th? I'm not sure. Nice, we got him. That's just very good timing. You saw we used the bounce pad to avoid getting pinched there. Or not really avoid getting pinched, but get out of the pinch. And then make someone else in the pinch. So we could easily clean it up. Use our bounce pads to get out of that. We unfortunately weren't able to scavenge any rockets from that fight. This is weird. Are they gonna bring back what? Playground? Yeah. They wouldn't add something and then remove it after a few hours and then like have no intention of bringing it back. Like that just doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? Why even put in the time to make it? Like they had to pay someone to make that. There was just an issue with it at first. Damn course. You'll get better if you want to. I need rockets from this guy if he has any. Nice. I didn't even know the storm was coming. This is so whack. I did not realize the storm was coming there. So those are some pretty basic ways that you could use the bounce pads to your advantage. Basically, if you just wanted to travel quickly out of an area or get out of a situation that you didn't want to take part in. The next way I think that bouncers can be very effective is to quickly get high ground or fight against players who have the high ground themselves. Basically, one thing that you can do is place the bouncer on the ground and then place walls as you're going up and then place a floor while you're at the peak. And then you will have gotten the high ground very, very quickly. This will typically put you 3 to 4 blocks in the air almost instantly. And then you can either kill the opponent from here or do it again and continue to bounce up higher and higher or bounce up at them sideways. There's a lot of things you can do once you have this high ground. Typically, you won't be able to stay up here that long because you can only really place 2 walls max while you're going up. So it'll be quite weak. But if they destroy you, you'll typically drop, like as long as you stay centered, you'll drop right down onto your bounce pad again and then just be able to redo it again. But basically, this move is you get high ground quickly and then either instantly punish the opponent because you have that high ground and they're probably building. I typically like to do this and either, if I don't have good shots on them, I'll just bounce sideways somewhere and just... You get a lot of movement very quickly from this, and then a lot of people really don't know how to play against it. And we'll have some clips of that here in a bit. And then another way that you can use it is to mitigate the advantage that people have once they already have the high ground. If you have to build straight up to them, it could be quite punishing for you if they have the high ground already, and like the way angles work out, it could be really punishing for you just depending on the situation. But if you have these bounce pads, you can combine it with your building to quickly reduce the advantage they have from the high ground and even take the high ground for yourself. So these are both pretty basic concepts, but I'm going to play some clips from my stream where I do these things so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then really just get your mind going with how you want to use the bounce pads. It's something that I think a lot of people should experiment with. This is a pretty basic video. Just wanted to show you guys some of the ways that I use bounce pads and draw your attention to it so that you can start using themselves and kind of just make it something that you're accustomed to using in the fight. So when you have these bounce pads, you can use them to make plays because they are very, very effective. It's not just like a meme item. These are very actually powerful for getting advantages yourself or reducing the advantages that the opponents had. So that's going to be it for me on this video. I'm going to let the gameplay play out with just some clips from my stream to give you guys some ideas on how I like to use bounce pads. If you did enjoy this video, a like rating is always appreciated. And if you would like to see something else like this in the future, please let me know. This is the first time I've made a video like this, where I basically just explain a few things and then show you examples from streams. So if you would like to see more videos like this, please let me know down in the comments below. And if you would like to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. I live stream Fortnite Battle Royale every single day. All right, see you guys later. I love doing airstrikes with the RPG and the bounce pad. Oh god, I thought he went down. I'm going to try to build just a quick 1x1 up and then bounce pad onto him. Nice. Let's get some GGs in the chat, guys.